After 6 months, we are finally back. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to One Piece, episodes 1123 and 1124. That's right. We have two episodes because with the return of the series after 6 months, they decided to double drop episodes this past weekend. So, yeah, that's exciting. And there's a couple things we got to look out for with these new episodes. First off, Frankie has a new voice actor because Kazuki Yao, the former voice actor of Frankie, has retired due to health concerns. His health has been declining for a while now, and it's gotten to the point where it's an interference with his work. So, for the sake of his health, he has had to retire, and I'm just saying right off the bat, it was a smart decision. It was the right decision. As much as we all love Frankie and love Frankie's voice, it had to happen. It was a requirement. His health comes first. I don't know if this new voice, who was handpicked by Kazuki Yao as the replacement, by the way, I don't know if he's going to do the same voice, like do an impression of Kazuki Yao's Frankie voice, or if he's going to do something completely different. But even if it sounds super entirely different, we need to respect this decision because, again, Kazuki Yao's health comes first. It is more important than, vocal continuity. And it's not like he's the only actor in this series who's had to change voices. Jinbei changed voices. Kizaru has changed voices. Multiple characters have changed voice actors. When you have a series that's been going on for as long as this has, it's kind of a necessity. Sometimes voice actors will pass away. Sometimes they'll go through health issues. Sometimes they'll, just be unable to reprise a role after a certain amount of time. It happens. And we need to respect that. Like, just, don't be an asshole about Frankie's voice possibly sounding much different. But on top of that, we also have a new opening. So I have not seen anything for this opening. I know nothing about who's performing it or whatnot. But I'm very excited because after a 6-month break, it's like we had to have gotten a new opening. I don't know what people even think of this opening. I haven't even seen anyone's generalized, non-spoilery thoughts on it. So I'm very curious to see what we've got here. And considering what Egghead is proving to be as an arc, I'm very interested to see what they do. I'm very interested to see the kind of vibe it continues to go for, basically. So, hopefully that ends up being really good. Now, the hiatus was taken for a number of reasons. I think one of the most prevalent was to give a little more time between the manga and the anime, which makes sense. Because of just all of the catching up the anime has done. They really needed to put a little extra time. And now the manga is in the next arc along. So I think these 6 months have definitely helped in terms of that. Apparently the fears about the pacing were unfounded because apparently it's been already discovered that the pacing is going to be pretty much the same as it has been. There's not going to be it's not going to be paced faster or whatnot because they want to remain distant from the anime as much, or from the manga as much as they can. So yeah, it really wouldn't make sense because then they just catch up again. And that would cause obvious problems. But on top of that, The animation is supposed to be better. There's supposed to be new music in it. Like the animation is supposedly going to be more consistently at the top level that we've had lately, and they took this time to be able to make sure that happened. And so stuff like this, it's like I can get behind. The pacing was my biggest worry, and luckily it seems like that's not going to be an issue. So I'm very excited to see where things continue to go, though, because we got the stuff with like Garp and Kobe. We got like Bonnie finding out about more about her father and everything from what's going on. We have Stussy betraying CP ages 0. We have we have the oh my god, what are they called? Seraphim. We have the Seraphim attacking. We have the reveal of one of the Vegapunks as being a villain. A lot of interesting shit's already going down. It's proven to be quite an insane arc just from what we've gotten so far, and from the little bit I do know and bits and pieces I've like heard people talk about, it's like this arc gets even more insane. I don't know like a huge amount of spoilers, but I do know like a couple small things. I'm not going to repeat them until they happen, of course, but yeah. I'm very excited to see, and again, as I've said before, the stuff I know is pretty much entirely out of context, so I don't know how it comes up or like what the deal behind it is. So take that into account too. But I'm just very excited that we're finally back with this. I've been waiting so long. It's been a crazy hiatus. They released that shortened version of the Return to Shabandi / Fishman Island arcs. I watched the first episode of that and saw some like other clips and stuff, and it's like, oh my god, this is so terrible. It looks bad. Like you would think it would look good, but no, it looks like it's been AI upscaled. Like they really didn't do well with the animation, making it look natural there. But on top of that, it's got pacing issues. It's way too fast. It doesn't allow any room for anything to breathe. It's like 20, I think it's like 21, 22 episodes or something like that for the entire arc. And that's insanity. That's so ridiculously paced. It's so bad. Luckily, it doesn't interfere with like the regular version and everything. Like that's still going to remain. Nothing's going to change with that. So we're still good on all of that and whatnot. So yeah. That being said, let's just get into this and see where these first 2 episodes back take us and what the new opening is like. So let's get to it. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, it seems like we're going to be getting a lot of focus on Bonnie and Kuma if the new opening is anything to go by. Which we knew was going to be coming anyway. It's like not a big surprise. I'm very interested to see more of exactly what all of this backstory is. Because I will tell you this, like one of the things I know out of context is involving it. And I'll leave it at that for now. Like I said, I'm not going to reveal anything ahead of time because I don't want to spoil anyone. But yeah, it kind of goes along with what I was saying, though, with the opening kind of being similar to some of the late pre-time skip ones, where it's like super emotional because of what it's focusing on. Just like how the last of the pre-time skip ones like focused on Luffy and Ace, and then focused on Luffy and his crew. And it's like it makes sense because those were emotional because of the context surrounding what was happening in the anime the manga and the anime at that moment. I'll just say the anime just because I'm talking about the anime with the openings and all. um and it seems like the same kind of thing is going to be the case here. Like, we're going to really focus on Bonnie's backstory, and it's going to get super heavy, super emotional, and it's probably going to make me cry. Like, if the opening already has made me tear up, like, the actual backstory is probably going to make me break. Which is not a surprise. One Piece backstories make me break, like, pretty consistently. So, yeah, that's basically to be expected. So the first of these two episodes was a bit of recap and then kind of like showcasing everybody reacting to the events of what is currently going down, as well as introducing kind of like the status of what's currently happening on Egghead, because we're going back to that after spending some time with Kobe and Garp and all. and Kuzan and whatnot. So we're seeing the events of in terms of what's happening there. York has been captured, but has made contact with the Gorosei amongst it all, and now Luffy's basically, being Luffy and declaring war on the Gorosei and everyone who's attacking Egghead at this moment. But we see that goes further into the second episode, of course, where we touch more on how York got this way, how all the characters like got back to their regular status from being unfrozen as statues and everything. I don't know if like the manga showed all of that stuff that was skipped past here, or if it was just kind of like, oh, we skipped forward a little bit and it explained how we got to this point. I don't know, but I think it's fine. I've seen this done in various shows and movies and whatnot. As long as everything gets explained as to what happened in between those times, then all is good. Such as like the fact with like Bonnie not being upset at Vegapunk anymore and crying throughout the night, obviously due to what she saw, which we're going to find out. I'm very curious about that. But we also see that Sentomaru is continuing to defend the island and Vegapunk against the Marines and the government. And Kizaru specifically is going to do battle with him because of respect and, just mutual care that they have for each other. There's hints to the backstory. There were hints in the previous opening towards that. I'm very curious to see what it ends up getting revealed about these two specifically. I like certain small moments in this as well, such as Lucci just glaring at Stussy for her betrayal, and Nami attacking York because of talking about O'Hara in front of Robin. That was just super cute, and Robin being so thankful and happy for her friends defending her was super cute. I really, really am interested to see what Saturn is going to do, because he's got to be here for a reason, right? And the fact that he's saying to not reveal that he's here, like, he's definitely going to get involved. He's definitely going to get involved. We're actually going to have our first battle with a Gorosei. That's insane to think about. We set up for the next arc with talking about the needle pointing at Elbaf. So that's exciting. We now have like big confirmation that Elbaf is where we're going next. And of course, Luffy and Usopp are the two who are super excited about that. And speaking of super, although we didn't get a super in this episode, we did, or either of these two episodes, we did get Frankie's new voice, and it is notably different, and it's going to be. I expected as much. I wasn't actually expecting that he would do a, you know, that he would do a what? Why is my mind blanking? An impression, an impression of Kazuki Yao's Frankie voice. I just feel like it would be hard to get that right, you know. Um, and Kazuki Yao specifically chose him, like specifically picked him out to take over as the voice, and I think he's doing a good job. It's just I want to hear a super because it's like it's one of the things he's known for, you know, saying super a lot, doing all the kind of like weird little noises like yow and whatnot. I want to hear more of that, but it's like the actual performance is fine. It's good even. It's just it's gonna take some getting used to. It's because we've been with Frankie for so goddamn long, and now we just have a new voice, and it's gonna take some getting used to. But again, Kazuki Yao's health comes first. This was the right decision. Um, I like that we saw Morgan's and Vivi and Wapple reacting to everything. I like that we saw Daden's reaction to everything. It's just like we're getting like into the big shit here. And it's making that very clear for us. We're really going to kick off into like a whole new level of this series. And that's exciting, but also frightening because that could mean anything at this point. I'm very interested to see how this ends up going down, how these battles go down. Kizaru versus Sentomaru. Obviously, we're going to have like shit go down with the the members of CP0 with like Lucci and Kaku and all. Lucci's somehow sending information out. We're gonna see Saturn probably fight Luffy, I would wager. Who else would fight him? Obviously, again, the backstory with Bonnie and Kuma is always exciting. There's just so much to look forward to. And I'm, like, very excited for that. I feel like there's a lot of possibility. But, yeah, I'm going to have to look over that opening, like, more to really determine how I feel about it. It has a very different vibe than, like, the last one, which, you know, makes sense. And again, with it being clearly a more emotion focused opening, it tracks that it would. I'm just like wondering, okay, how does that fit in with all the other openings though? So it's gonna take me many more views, and I'll definitely watch it many more times. Um, but we'll think about that. And maybe I'll know by the time we get to the next episode next week. But we'll have to see. So yeah. As always, very excited. Very interested to see how this ends up going down. And so I'm just glad to be back. After 6 months away, I'm just really happy to be back to One Piece. And hopefully it just continues to be as awesome as it has been lately. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Leave all your thoughts and comments down in the section below. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.